So when you go into a workout, your body is using your muscles to work out. It's pulling energy from the carbohydrates. That's your glycogen system. So if you go into a workout, whether it be swim or dry land, and you're not balanced between those two, that's what comes into recovery. Basically, coming into your workout with a carbohydrate build based up, you're going to build it up. It's going to retard the synthesis or breakdown of protein, which is your muscles. So the main energy source that you use is your glycogen system, which is coming from your carbohydrates. So let's go to the card here. Your second section. Select fiber-rich starches first and reduce fast digesting sugars when inactive. These are your carbohydrates and fiber intake. Basically, fast digesting sugars and starches you're going to use in a highly active day. Last time I checked, most of you guys are pretty much active every single day. So as you go down that far list, it's giving you examples. The other side is more slower digesting carbohydrates. And that's something on more of an inactive day or later in the evening. So these carbohydrates are the main energy system that you're pulling in, that your body is using during the course of a workout. If you're depleted of them, your body goes immediately to the protein and starts breaking down your muscle tissue. So what does that mean? It comes back to 3 in the beginning that we talked about, faster recovery. I'm sore all the time. God, I don't feel like I have any energy. Every time I get out of the pool and I go home, I feel like somebody just beat me up with a 2x4. Well, there's a reason for that. Well, besides Coach Carlson. It's nutrition based. And you have to start that process in the morning. So if you look at this and we talk about breakfast, well, you've got your grains and rice. You've got anything for, you got your bread and breakfast items. Toast, white bread, yes, even Pop-Tarts. You say, well, God, how many Pop-Tarts can I eat? Well, you're basically looking at the bottom here, it says your servings. 30 grams of carbs or 2 exchanges. So you're basically going to try and push, as you go through here, we're looking at 1 gram of body weight in protein, and your carbohydrates are going to be made up of the rest of that. So, as you look at the bottom here, you're looking at least 2 exchanges or 2 servings of carbohydrates for breakfast. So you're basically going to look at 1 Pop-Tart, not 6. You got different choices of cereal, and you also have fruits in there as well. So there again, as you look through this, you got to remember, variety is the spice of life. It's the same when it comes to eating. Don't get up every morning and just pound down Pop-Tarts. Okay? Varietize it. I understand you got to eat fast and you got to eat on the go, but varietize. The thing that you guys got to remember in this whole thing about nutrition, the part that I'm going to constantly emphasize as well too, is some of you kids have admirations to go on and swim in college, beyond high school. The biggest thing you want to start focusing on now is habits. Because when you get to college, it's up to you to eat. It's up to you to get your meals, whether you're going to a training hall to eat or you have to cook yourself. Mom and Dad aren't going to be there to do it for you. Now's a great time to start figuring these things out and start planning your meals and putting this chart on the wall. Mom, Dad, you know what? Let's work on this. Let's start doing this together. How can this help me? So as you go through this, as we talk about breakfast in the morning, you're looking at pulling in your carbohydrates. That's where the process of that has to start. Because if you go into the day depleted of that, it's going to lead to protein synthesis, breakdown of your tissues. You're going to get sore, you're not going to recover. So to gain mass, we talked about that. You're adding more calories to your basic baseline. To eat, to lose, remember what I said? To eat, to lose. Does that make sense? If I want to gain, I've got to eat. If I want to lose, I want to eat. I have to eat. I have to eat to gain, I have to eat to lose. Either or, whether I'm trying to gain lean mass or I'm trying to lean out, I still have to eat. So as people get up and they look in the mirror and they say, God, you know, I got these love handles, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. you know what, I'm just gonna eat less. Well, what happens? Your body hangs on to what you give it. So instead of eating 5 meals a day, you go down to 3 meals a day. Well, your body will now hang on to what you're giving it because it doesn't know when it's going to get it again. So how do you think it's going to store it? As a long-term energy source. Fat. Yeah, fat. That's how your body works. So when athletes come into the club and we check body comp, and it's at this level, and a month later or 2 months later, it's up to this level. And we go back over the course of what's changed. Well, they started swim practice, and then they started this or they started that. The likelihood of that increase in body comp or total body fat they're carrying due to the increase is because they're not taking in enough calories. You have to eat to gain, you have to eat to lose. Your body will use what it needs and it will get rid of it. I don't think we have to go into the discussion of how it gets rid of it. We all know that. So to gain, to lose, I have to eat. So basically what you're doing here to lose is you're cutting your calories by a minimum of 500. Protein should stay the same, which is a gram of protein per body weight. So, the first thing that we talked about in the beginning was less downtime due to illness. On the top of your card, you have vitamin C and carotenoids. These are basically your greens, your vegetables. I know you all love them. Greens play a huge role in the vitamins and stuff that you get out of it from a natural standpoint. So you say, well, how should I eat them? Not out of a can. They should either be fresh or frozen. You can steam them. Get bags of frozen vegetables, put them in a thing in the microwave, steam them. It's the best way to eat them. So as you look through here, between the two, you've got vitamin C, carotenoids, and antioxidants. All things to boost the immune system. So if you look over to the far left, as you go through this, there's asterisks next to some of these foods. Basically what that is you're getting all three in one. You're getting your vitamins, your carotenoids, and your antioxidants. One of the biggest things that we look at with athletes when they come in is mobility issues. And a lot of kids are very, very tight. The first thing that we usually ask the kids as we go down the nutrition chart, how many vegetables do you eat? I don't like them. It's the one main source of kids being tight. Vegetables are very high in iron, oxygenating the muscles, recovery time, boosting the immune system. So as you go through here, you have a lot of different choices. Dark green salads. So let's talk about laying out a meal. At every school we went to, at every school I was at, we did our training tables. So if we brought in, say, a football team, and we walked in and the first row they went to was all the meats, steaks and hamburgers and whatever it is, and then the second one they went to was the vegetables, and then the third one was the dessert bar. Well, they fill up on all the meats. By the time they get to the fruits and vegetables, well, they're full or they don't want it. So then they go right to the dessert. So they're pulling in all that protein, which some of it's a high fat content, no fruits or vegetables or greens, and then the desserts. So we switched it. First row they go to, salads, greens, vegetables. And there's a lot of different choices you can pull from through here. Fruits, vegetables. Every meal should start with a bright leafy green salad. Get as much color as you can in it. Kids that are lean, throw on your ranch dressing then. Throw on your different things. But there's a lot of options from getting taste to it with not as much fat content. So you always want to start with a bright leafy salad. Get as much color in it as you can. And all the color is going to come from your vegetables and fruits. If you're cooking, you've got herbs and spices. There's a tremendous amount of benefit from your herbs and spices as to what you use for taste.